right, Shalom. I want to start off as always, man, by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Racha HaKodash. Dubon is unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love unto the brothers out there doing his work in truth and sincerity. And also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this lesson, man, pretty much I'm going to go into the information that I'm going to go into on the highways and byways, man. Weather got kind of crazy, bro. I just made it back from downtown. It got wet. I said, no, I'm not going to stand out here and just be wet, bro. So came back to the crib, man, to do my lesson here. Lord willing is edifying, okay? Just want to touch over some recent information, all right, that just came out today concerning Syria, digital currencies, Elon Musk, all right, what he got going on. He's a part of Trump cabinet, man, and what he's pushing, so just want to cover these few topics here. Probably take like an hour or so. But Lord will is edifying, man, all right? So getting into it here, the first video is from Anonymous Official, okay? And this video is concerning digital currencies and a cashless society, right? Which we know Bible prophecy speaks about these things. And this is a nice clip here. Okay, I'm going to get through the whole thing, Lord willing. And then I'll move on to the situation that's going on over in Syria right now, all right? So here we go.
People will never see cash unless they visit a museum.
Digital currency.
Digital currency.
Digital currency.
Digital currency.
Digital currency.
Cashless society.
Cashless future.
Digital currency.
Cash-free.
Cashless.
Cashless society.
A cashless society.
Digital cash takes the worst of surveillance capitalism and the worst of surveillance states, merges them together in this fascist dystopia where every transaction you ever made tells something about your habits, your politics, your associations, your movement, your physical location. And on the one hand, all of this data gets collected and shared among all of the intelligence agencies and corporations, or leaked. And on the other hand, if the people in power choose to, they can decide to debank you overnight. They turn off the switch. And imagine what happens if your bank account is shut down and cash doesn't exist. Well, you can't eat. You can't buy food. Done. You can't use transportation. You can't rent an apartment. They can literally destroy your life in a second. This is happening today.
As soon as you connect.
Right. So I just want to say a few words on what you just said there, right? Pretty much about how when this MOTB comes, the elites, those who are in power, will have complete control over your lives. This is what prophecy tells us, right, about the MOTB. I'll get to that very soon. But this is something, brothers and sisters, that you got to pay attention to, man, okay? You cannot sleep on the MOTB prophecy. You can't sleep on the information that's coming out and what's being said by these elites and their puppets. This is something that's being pushed, bro, on all levels amongst all governments around the world. They're all piloting CBDCs. They're all, piloting these digital IDs. Sooner or later, bro, this is going to hit hard, okay? It's going to hit very hard. And pretty much take the people by surprise because, they ain't watching anyway. But for us as believers, it is our job to watch and to pray, okay? Because this is going to change the world. Like, it's really going to change the world, bro. And these people really don't like change, right? Especially when they ain't got no control. But this is where we're heading, okay? So here we go.
To any of those, I have your password. I have anything in between.
Oh, man. Everything you do on an unsecured network is at risk.
your passwords.
Social credit score system rank its citizens based on their online behavior.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media.
People who have a negative credit score on that system are denied access to public transportation. They're denied access to airlines. They're denied access to trains. They're denied access to jobs in the government. They're denied access to apartments to rent. They're doing that today. Now, today, those people have cash to go back on. What happens when there's no cash? This very misguided idea that if you eradicate cash, you'll eradicate crime, which of course you won't, because people will substitute cash with something else. And also, if the only people who are allowed to be intermediaries are the large corporations, they will commit the crime. It's like if you want to rob a bank nowadays, the best way to do so is to have a banking license. Then you can rob the entire bank and or country with complete immunity. If you rob one person and steal 20 pounds from them, you're going to jail and you're going to spend a long time there. If you rob 2 million people of their homes and mortgages, right, you're not going to jail. You're getting a 10 million bonus from the bank and you're retiring in peace and quiet in the countryside. I'll tell you a really, really important story about what happened to me recently, in fact, last week. I was doing a book signing at the conference, and this guy comes up to me and he said, I was really touched by what you said, and I want to share my personal story with you because this is very, very personal to me. He said, I have not been able to open a bank account in more than 10 years. I'm Iranian. I was born in Iran. I haven't been to Iran in more than 15 years. Young kid who's in his 20s. The last time he was in Iran, he was probably like 5 or 6 years old, maybe, right? I have a job. I pay taxes. I have a college education. I don't break the law. I'm entirely above board. All I want is somewhere for my company to pay my salary so I can have a debit card and buy groceries. I cannot open a bank account. I couldn't open a bank account when I lived in Malaysia for 4 years. I can't open a bank account now that I live in Germany for 6 years. Every bank I go into, the moment I say my name and they ask me my place of birth, they immediately stop everything. I can't open a bank account. Doesn't matter how many things I show them. I have no criminal record. I've lived in free countries for so many years simply because of where I was born, something I had no control over. And I have no association with anyone in this country. I have no association with the government, no interest in the politics, just because of where I was born. I cannot live my life. I cannot transact. You know, these people, through no choice of their own, have done nothing wrong. And the banks can simply say no for no reason without even telling you why. And that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. And of course, when a bank account is now required to do almost anything, try renting an apartment without a bank account, without showing bank statements, or try running a business without a bank account. So you need an ID to get a bank account, you need a bank account to get everything else. But it's not a right, it's a privilege, and you can just cut off millions of people from access to the world economy. Make them non-people. A true peer-to-peer, or several, perhaps even thousands of alternative peer-to-peer digital internet-based currencies that do not belong or not controlled by any state, any corporation, that are run by rules that are collaborative, that depend on the participation of all of the people who use them, and that give you complete freedom. P2P, or peer-to-peer, encompasses the ethos of this entire movement. It's about decentralization. It's about them not having an intermediary in between you. And I like to...
Just real quick, bro. There will be no solution to the MOTB system but to destroy it. Okay? You people push out this narrative that you can work around this stuff. You won't be able to. That's not what prophecy says. It's either you bow down to Esau or you put your faith in the Lord. That's it. And no way around it, bro. Okay? Like right now, brothers got houses and apartments and cars and a job and all that stuff, access to the internet. When this MOTB system comes, that's going to be slim. Giving you a social credit score, possibly, right? Like over in China. And everything you say will be pretty much judged and recorded, right? Online. For us who preach the gospel, right? And go out to the highways and byways and preach the gospel, do these videos, man. We say some hard things. Okay, we say very hard, harsh things. How long you think we're gonna last on the internet? Just being honest. When they do a sweep of the internet and check, videos and stuff like that in brothers' channels, bro, it ain't gonna be no more preaching the gospel on the internet, bro. That's gonna be out the window. Not saying that brothers still won't have the ability to probably teach, but it ain't gonna be how it used to be. Okay. And that time, man, it's gonna be serious, bro. All right. And these devils are planning on they planning on taking over everything. It's either you follow them or you just be out there, bro. So you have no choice but to put your faith in the Most High, man. Once this system comes, bro, you ain't got no choice. Either put your faith in the Most High or you're gonna have to bow down to Esau, bro. Plain and simple. Okay. Real quick. Let's go here to the prophecy, man. This is the GNT of Revelation 13. In the 15 verses says, the second beast was allowed to breathe life into the image of the first beast, so that the image could talk and put to death all those who would not worship it. Right. If you don't want to bow down to Esau's image, to this beast system, right? The judgment is to pretty much unalive you. But also, you can be cut out of the system, as he was saying. Okay, if you go into that word in the Greek, it also means to shut you out pretty much, right? You'll be shut out of this system, man. And they can do it at the click of a button, right? Let's say, if you're not compliant to their rules and regulations, right, of the 2030 agenda, if you're not bound down to that way, if you're not following that way, then they can say, okay, let's cut down or, cut out so-and-so. Because we're all going to have digital IDs. All of us. You can't get no central bank digital currencies if you don't have a digital ID. And that digital ID will be linked to everything. So you can't say, oh, no, this ain't none of me. No, it's you. Okay? So if you do something, they know exactly who you are. You can't be anonymous or go incognito, right? That digital ID is going to be specifically for you, and only you can have access to it. So once you do something that's contrary to their system or whatnot, hey man, they're going to shut you out to where you can't buy food, you can't pay your rent, you can't pay your car note, you can't get groceries, bro. Do you know how much hell they're going to bring on people's lives? It says the beast forced all the people, small and great, rich and poor, slave and free, to have a mark placed on their right hands or on their foreheads. It says, no one could buy or sell without this mark. That is the beast's name or the number that stands for the name. So for the 10,000th time, man, you would not be able to buy or sell without a particular mark. What is that? That's going to be that sea hill put in your body, man. Okay? At Davos, at the World Economic Forum meetings, right? Their councils, they come out and say, hey, humans are hackable creatures, hackable animals who can be controlled and, told what to do, right? To hell with your freedoms. Their goal is to merge man with machine. Klaus Schwab said this many years ago, right? That's the goal of the fourth industrial revolution, is to merge man with machine, bro. That's crazy, all right? But this is what they want to do, okay? And when I get to the video about Elon Musk, okay, he's an individual set up to push that agenda, right? To put these brain implants inside of people to give them superhuman ability, right? This is what they're trying to accomplish, man. People look at Elon Musk thinking that, you know, he's some righteous person who's standing up against evil. No. Them nigga bought and paid for, okay? He's being told what to do. So this is a serious matter, man, okay? They're going to force these things on everybody. Eventually, right? So now moving on here, okay, to the situation over in Syria, right? This is from We Are Change with Luke Rudowski. It says, overthrow the massive chaos in the Middle East just beginning, okay? With the overthrow of Bashar al-Assad. This is like whoa, okay? The Elder Brothers in Dallas, right? London, New York, you know, did an algo on it about that situation, man. This is like whoa, okay? Because you had the situation, you know, with the small hats and Hamas and them, you know, pretty much beefing with every group in that region, so-called terrorist organization. And now with the overthrow of Bashar al-Assad, bro, this is very interesting. Oh, also, let me get this video by Dabu 7. Salakia. I forgot to go to Dabu. Here we go.
Trump's over here tweeting out this and that we should.
So let me play Dabu first, okay? I'm gonna play Dabu first, then we'll go to Luke video, right? So Dabu 7 video, it says, is this the real cause of war? Syria falls, new leader emerges as Assad flees into hiding. Okay, and as you can see, here in this picture, he has what the Syrian conflict is really about: the control of energy, right? Russia to Europe, Nord Stream pipeline right there. Syria, a Russian ally, was away. Qatar, Turkey, Europe pipeline. So this is about the pipelines, man. Okay. And this is serious. All right, this is serious, man. And they're willing to fight. They will fight eventually over this shit. Okay. So I'm gonna let Dabu go into this clip here, and then I'll play a Luke video.
This is Dabu 7 with the question arising: is this the main reason for war? Especially what we're seeing in Syria right now. It looks like Syria has fallen. Rebel leaders taking control of Damascus, announcing al-Assad regime has fallen. Assad apparently fleeing the country. This new leader taking the stage. And they're saying that he is a former al-Qaeda leader, which is all backed by the West. And I just can't understand how some people out there can't see it unless you're glued to your mainstream establishment TV that's feeding you rhetoric that you're consuming constantly. You cannot see that Israel, Turkey, and the United States back these so-called rebels on the ground every step of the way. You know, Trump's over here tweeting out this and that we should stay out of it, but yet we've got troops that are in there, and they're obviously backing this side, because on the other side is Assad, Russia, and, you know, the enemy as it is out here on the world stage. We're definitely not sitting on that side. So it's rather obvious. This pipeline becomes key to all this, if you ask me, because this is what they've wanted to do for a long time, is get this pipeline running up through Saudi Arabia that will cut through Syria right here, through Turkey, which is in on this, and then into Europe. And Turkey will get, you know, huge compensation for letting it go through their country. And this will be big for everyone that is in control of this region. They can then feed this area with energy. And you already know the West has bombed the Nord Stream pipeline, the one coming from Russia down into the area to feed Europe. So it's effectively trying to sever that line, and it will set up this new route. This is the proposed route right here for this pipeline. And it could never go down, never happen, unless they had control of this region. Now, they're saying Assad has vanished. There was what seems to be false reports that they're floating around that a plane went down that could have had him in it. That's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. There was no confirmations on none of that. It looks like he's in hiding, and it looks like he has negotiated to hand over power of the country. And this other guy's walked right in. Erdogan of Turkey knew as much and said as much openly. So this is a massive operation that went down rather quickly. And in terms of Damascus, you see Israel now pounding positions in there of whoever's left. So when the questions arise, like who's going to be responsible for leveling Damascus in the end? Well, it could be retaliation for everything that we're seeing go down right now. Anyhow, this is the latest. Join me on the live stream where I break this down in greater detail. Going live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here. Much love, y'all.
All right, man. So there you have it. Hear what Dabu is pretty pointing to, man, about these pipelines. Okay, which I remember, the elder brothers who do the World War III algorithm. Okay, they had showed maps of these pipelines, man, and how pretty much Bashar al-Assad, he was hindering this Qatar, Turkey, Europe pipeline for years, okay? And that's why they had all the propaganda against him, trying to get him to pretty much be overthrown and whatnot, but he had the backing of Russia and Iran and whatnot. So now since he's gone, man, they could very well establish this pipeline so that they can supply energy to Europe, all right? That barren wasteland, okay? The scripture calls it what is that? That's in Revelation. The bottomless pit, right? Europe is known as a bottomless pit. A lack of resources, man. So they need this resource of this pipeline, right? This oil, right? This energy to supply Europe, man. And hey, here we are. But guess what? All of this stuff is going to lead to World War III, man. Okay? That's what it boils down to. All this stuff you seeing, the bombs in, the bombing and all this shit, bro, it's going to lead to World War III. And this is what we want to see. Okay? So this is a big step toward prophecy, man. A very important day in the news, all right, for us as believers, bro. We're always looking for something, okay, that's highlighting prophecy, man, so that we can get the hell out of Babylon, okay? So moving on here to Luke Radowski video, all right, here we go.
Blowout sales on Facebook Marketplace with home decor from Syria. Yeah, wow. As that allegedly is the palace of Bashar al-Assad in Damascus, who, according to the initial reports here, had his plane go down as he was evacuating Syria, allegedly. All of this is, it's pretty clear here the United States, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Israel are absolutely involved in this larger fall of Syria that's going to have a lot of ramifications behind it that are important to note here. And even though there's a lot of Western media outlets now celebrating this news, broadcasting photos in Assad in a Speedo, allegedly. We have to understand here, what happened today, the fall of Syria, is a major big deal, as what's happening right now should be a major cautionary tale of U.S. Western intervention and its larger consequences. All of this as today the Biden administration has announced an additional $988 million in aid to Ukraine. As a lot of people are saying, the Ukrainians, NATO, and other Western forces were directly involved here when it came to arming and training. A lot of these, quote, moderate Syrian rebels, as the videos that we're getting captured right now from the middle of Damascus are absolutely mind-blowing, as it looks like the Syrian military just literally stood down. Now, what is Iran doing? Hezbollah, Russia here? They're the close allies of Syria? Well, of course, we're going to be asking that question, as it's a significant question that makes people wonder what's really going on here. But the latest that we're getting from this particular news story is that Bashar al-Assad has fled Syria, and there are unconfirmed reports of his aircraft being shot down. All of this as the Biden administration will be having a national security team meeting about this particular issue, as it's important to note here that Joe Biden was the vice president of the United States when Brennan, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton initiated this larger coup against Bashar al-Assad and the Syrian government, which I think is now unfolding. As we're getting reports of thousands of Syrian soldiers fleeing to Iraq, as this 14-year-old crisis that has been weaponized and engineered by foreign governments is now playing out in the way that they wanted it to play out. We're looking at you, General Wesley Clark, who we spoke to and was absolutely shocked when we asked him about the larger plans by the military-industrial complex that look like they're being carried out. As what
Right. And the elders, all right, in their video spoke about this. Okay, 1 second here. 1 second. Okay, so the elders in the video, okay, they spoke about this clip here, right, which is a very famous clip, all right, that only a few knew about, right? And as you can see here, it says only Iran is left among the original targets of neocons and Zionists. And this guy here, okay, he's reading from a piece of paper, right, that he so-called received. And it says, we are going to take out 7 countries in 5 years: Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off with Iran. Okay, so we see the overthrow of Syria, right, and the Syrian government. And as it says, only Iran is left. Okay, and we know according to prophecy that when these devils do try to invade Iran or, go to war with Iran directly, that World War III will happen. Okay, there's no ifs and buts about it. It's going to happen. Okay, but the MOTB got to come first. But you can bet your bottom dollar that once they go head to head with Iran, World War III will happen. Okay, Russia is going to back Iran. China is going to back Iran. North Korea is going to back them, and so on and so forth, man. So this is a beautiful thing to see, bro. Okay, you should be elated at this news, man, knowing that we're one step closer to biblical prophecy, all right, being fulfilled. Here we go.
you, General Wesley Clark, who we spoke to and was absolutely shocked when we asked him about the larger plans by the military-industrial complex that look like they're being carried out. As what's happening here is the NATO, Turkey, and Israeli takeover of Syria is now underway, as the Prime Minister of Israel has just announced this, specifically with their larger government actions here that played a major role in this, especially when it came to bombing Bashar al-Assad, his government, and his military forces. Any kind of reinforcements that were also coming in specifically from Iran, as he also obliterated the Hezbollah forces inside of Lebanon that were also very closely aligned with Bashar al-Assad, as he just announced that during this very kind of tense, uncertain times that Israel is going to be taking more land away from Syria that was previously established as a buffer zone from the 1970s conflict that they had with that country, as the government there has fallen and now Israel will be taking more of their territory.
This is a historic day for the Middle East. The collapse of the Assad regime, the tyranny in Damascus, offers great opportunity, but also is fraught with significant dangers. This collapse is a direct result of our forceful action against Hezbollah and Iran, Assad's main supporters. It set off a chain reaction of all those who want to free themselves from this tyranny and its suppression. But it also means we have to take action against possible threats. One of them is the collapse of the separation of forces agreement from 1974 between Israel and Syria. This agreement held for 50 years. Last night it collapsed. The Syrian army abandoned its positions. We gave the Israeli army the order to take over these positions to ensure that no hostile force embeds itself right next to the border of Israel. This is a temporary defensive position until a suitable arrangement is found. Equally, we send a hand of peace to all those beyond our border in Syria, to the Druze, to the Kurds, to the Christians, and to the Muslims who want to live in peace with Israel. We're going to follow events very carefully. If we can establish neighborly relations and a peaceful relations with the new forces emerging in Syria, that's our desire. But if we do not, we'll do whatever it takes to defend the state of Israel.
This is Alan Barancott just declared on Twitter that Israel invaded Syria and that Israel has taken control of Syrian land, seemingly without facing, quote, any opposition, as Israel is calling this a temporary land grab. But let's be honest here, they don't have the best track record of, take backsies. I think that's a fair assessment here to make, as a lot of people are speculating that now they will be taking more than the Golan Heights region, as we will see how this entire conflict plays out here as it's clear.
Right. The small hats, they have a goal in mind, okay? They want to fulfill their Greater Israel project. Pretty much they want to try and obtain the blessing that the Most High promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Esau, he's trying to fulfill that blessing through warfare, right through the sword. That's all, bro. That's all. No matter what you see in the news, all this stuff happening, bro, these devils got a plan. See, we don't get your chance to be in their meetings, right, and hear their counsels. But what we can see is what they do. And so now, with this government being overthrown, these Smalls had immediately went into Syria and grabbed land. Okay? Immediately. They didn't waste no time. Okay? They didn't waste no time. Immediately started to land grab. It said in the news that you're right, that they faced no opposition. You know, they had nobody there, to stop them. Nothing. They went in there and grabbed the land, bro. They're trying to fulfill our blessing, okay? These devils are. As if they are the real Israelites, bro. Like, this is crazy, okay? But we know that this man going to fail. He's going to fail miserably, okay? Because of his pride and his ego, he's going to be overthrown. Thus said the Lord, all right? He's going to be overthrown, man. So here we go.
Not facing, quote, any opposition, as Israel is calling this a temporary land grab. But let's be honest here, they don't have the best track record of, take backsies. I think that's a fair assessment here to make, as a lot of people are speculating that now they will be taking more than the Golan Heights region, as we will see how this entire conflict plays out here, as it's clear that the Israelis had a major involvement here, as the Syrian government was a major thorn in its side, as Israel, as of late, cut Hezbollah off at its knees, acquired new territory, and in my opinion, probably worked out a deal with the Turks, with these, quote, moderate rebels, and have allowed it to expand its territory in the specific region, while also getting rid of one of its major chief enemies near its territory, as we're learning that the IDF actually conducted airstrikes inside of Syria, going after Air Force bases, weapons and defense systems, as well as intelligence facilities and other military structures that still remain inside of Syria, as Netanyahu is calling this a historic fall of Bashar al-Assad, and is seen very gleefully and happy about this. So is, of course, the American corporate media that is running headlines like this. Quote, jubilation and gunfire as Syria celebrates the end of Assad's family half-century rule. The Guardian, Also with an extremely biased CIA-influenced news headline here saying, from doctor to brutal dictator, the rise and fall of Syrian Bashar al-Assad. The French government was also very happy about this, as Emmanuel Macron took to Twitter and wrote, "The barbaric state has fallen at last. I pay tribute to the Syrian people, to their courage, to their patience in this moment of uncertainty. I send them my wishes for peace, freedom, and unity. France will remain committed to the security of all in the Middle East." And let's just be honest here. Peace, freedom, and unity doesn't really come after Western intervention in the Middle East. And no matter how many people are so
Esau full of shit. Let's just put it out there. Esau full of you know what, man. Peace, unity, freedom? No. It's going to be all hell in the Middle East right now. Okay? And we need that to happen. I'm glad. Okay? We need that to happen, man. We don't know how everything's going to turn out, but guess what? We know prophecy going to be fulfilled. We know that. Okay? So they can say what they want to say, do what they want to do. Let them rejoice. All right? Let Esau rejoice. And Esau loved calling everybody terrorists and barbaric, as if they're not barbaric and terrorists. Okay? You Edomites are a nation full of terrorists. You are a barbaric people, man. Very barbaric. All right? But hey, do what you do, man. But your pride, right? Your ego is going to lead to you being destroyed. Obadiah tells us that. Okay? So here we go.
Celebrating this, we have to understand that there's going to be a massive vacuum of power, massive sectarian violence, and a lot of people inside of Syria right now, specifically the Kurds, the Christians, the Jews in that specific region, that are going to be facing a lot of adversity, to say it kindly. As Charlie Kirk said, if you thought Assad was bad, wait until you see what is coming next. As Candace Owens had a little bit more of a pointed comment here saying, Christians are about to be mass slaughtered. Pray for Syria. As Bashar al-Assad did allow people from all different kinds of religions to live peacefully inside of Syria. He didn't play ball with the U.S. petrodollar. He didn't play ball with this larger kind of pipeline that Western forces wanted to build through Saudi Arabia, through Syria, and of course into Europe, which of course would bypass Russia. As I think this larger kind of assessment here of what's happening here is a little bit more accurate and does play up to what we have seen happen in this particular region for over 14 years, as the United States government played a major key role in the upheaval that we have seen in Syria that have allowed the rise of radical Islamists, as the United States was directly supporting Sunni Wahhabists like Al-Qaeda, al-Nusra, and ISIS in the region in order to get rid of Bashar al-Assad. They've been doing this for over 14 plus years. And right now, specifically what just happened with Hezbollah, what just happened with Russia, the larger attacks between Israel and Iran, this is a particularly very weak situation for the Syrian government that I think Western powers saw at play here as a very kind of important piece on the chessboard that they said, you know what, now's the perfect time to take this piece. And I think that's exactly what unfolded here. As Roger Stone puts it very concisely, saying the removal of Assad in Syria will work out as well as the removal of Gaddafi in Libya. Check out the human slave markets there today. The CIA needed to move quickly before Trump became president. And I think that's absolutely correct here. As in a rare moment of truth on MSNBC, we actually got a good perspective to the long history of all of this. As we have to understand here, there was Pentagon-backed rebels fighting CIA-backed rebels inside of Syria 14 years ago. As this has been long sought after territory, as its sphere of influence is very important to the larger kind of geopolitical piece in this larger war, in this larger conflict that has a lot of moving components to it, a lot of countries invested in it. As it's fair to say, the way that this is all going to unfold from here is going to be very turbulent for the people of Syria and very beneficial for the geopolitical interest of Turkey, the United States, NATO, and of course, Israel.
Out of control, this could escalate.
It's true, but I think we have to step back and not put this in partisan terms. This is a U.S. mistake that started 7 years ago. And I remember the day on your show when President Obama said, Assad must go. And I looked at you and Joe and I said, huh? How's he going to do that? Where's the policy for that?
Right.
And we know they sent in the CIA to overthrow Assad. The CIA and Saudi Arabia together in covert operations tried to overthrow Assad. It was a disaster. Eventually, it brought in both ISIS as a splinter group to the jihadists that went in. It also brought in Russia. So we have been digging deeper and deeper and deeper. What we should do now is get out and not continue to throw missiles, not have a confrontation with Russia. 7 years has been a disaster under Obama, continuing under Trump. This is what I would call the permanent state. This is the CIA, this is Pentagon, wanting to keep Iran and Russia out of Syria, but no way to do that. And so we have made a proxy war in Syria. It's killed 500,000 people, displaced 10 million. And I'll say predictably so, because I predicted it 7 years ago that there was no way to do this and that it would make a complete chaos. So what I would plead to President Trump is get out, like his instinct told him, by the way. That was his instinct. But then all the establishment, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Pentagon, everybody said, no, that's irresponsible. But his instinct is right. Get out. We've done enough damage, 7 years. And now we really risk a confrontation with Russia that is extraordinarily dangerous.
Wow, a rare moment of truth.
Yep. So as you can see, you have an Edomite here in that clip. He's showing you, he's telling you that America is the cause of all the chaos. Okay? These are facts. We already knew this. He said the CIA, they joined forces with rebel groups to overthrow Assad. It didn't work. They kept trying and kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. And finally, last night, they got to overthrow the government. And now they have these rebels there, all right, that's backed by America. They're going to allow them to build their pipe and, do stuff there. But man, oh man, we're going to see how Russia responds, how Iran responds to this situation, man. Very interesting, bro. Okay. But this is going to lead to World War III. No doubt about it. Right. I'm going to play a little bit more here of his video. Then I'm going to move on to my next clip and I'm going to close out.
Truth on the corporate media that, of course, rarely ever likes to talk about the larger kind of de-escalation strategies that, of course, are more rational than just blowing everything up and giving weapons, arms, and munitions to some of the most dangerous jihadis on the face of this earth. There's a difference between the two, and rarely do we ever hear about the peace side. We always hear about the need for more kind of death, as death merchants essentially control a big portion of the corporate media. And that's why independent media has always been very fiercely anti-war, just like we have been for over 20 plus years, as we've been protesting the war in Iraq before that war even particularly started. And if you like what we're doing, you could support us just by simply signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. Now, there's a lot of really amazing offers of value that you get.
All right. So if you want to get down watching, all of this, bro, you can. Very good video. Move on here to my next precept, man. Zephaniah 3:8, it says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdom." So everything we're seeing is leading to these nations being gathered and being assembled. Okay? Every chess move, everything you see, every government being overthrown, every council, is all leading to the Most High plan being fulfilled, bro. So this is something we should be elated about, right? That the Most High is making good on his word, bro. To hell what's going on, with Drake and Kendrick Lamar and, college football playoffs bracket. That ain't about nothing, bro. Okay? The Most High is finna shake up the world. Okay? The world is about to be shaken up. 2025 could very well be a very important year of stuff happening, right? On a global scale, man, amongst these nations. Okay, very interesting. But it says, for my determination is to gather the nations that I may assemble the kingdoms and pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So the Most High is determined to destroy these nations, man, especially Esau. Okay, he got to get his just due, bro. All right, he caused enough damage to everybody and every damn thing, bro. And so in due time, the Heavenly Father going to get this nigga, bro. All right. Last thing here, it's a video from Jason A. All right, this is concerning Elon Musk. Okay, we know that Elon Musk is a damn Edomite devil. Okay, he's a juiced-in devil. He's a tech nerd, right? He's all about pushing, artificial intelligence and robotic things. Just recently this year, he came out and showed his new robots that you can buy for $20,000 next year in 2025. He showed new cars and new taxis and all that crap. But I want to focus in on this nigga pushing these brain chips, okay, which goes into the MOTB. And I wanted to highlight something that a news anchor is going to say concerning Elon Musk and his brain implants. All right, so here we go. A good compilation video, man.
He's been hanging around at Mar-a-Lago, weighing in on hiring decisions, joining a call between Trump and the Ukrainian president for some reason. He's been called co-president by some in Trump world. And today, multiple outlets are reporting the Israeli president, Isaac Herzog, recently called Elon Musk in hopes of getting the incoming U.S. administration to reopen talks for the release of hostages in Gaza. You would think that's the sitting president's job, Joe Biden, who's still president of the United States for another month and a half, or if not him, then the incoming president's job, Donald Trump, who was duly elected. Shouldn't be the job of his top campaign donor that no one elected.
A stark warning came from Elon Musk. He tweeted, "Singapore and other countries are going extinct."
Elon Musk revealing a second patient has been implanted with Neuralink, an experimental brain-computer interface that allows patients to control technology with their mind.
Elon Musk is promising superhuman abilities after revealing a brain chip has been implanted in a second patient. It's part of a clinical trial for the technology called Neuralink. If all goes well, Musk says he expects the company to implant 8 more patients with the device by the end of the year.
What do you make of this?
Heard that? Did you hear that, bro? With these brain implants, he's promising superhuman ability. Okay, for you to go beyond, this human limit that we have, right? To do extraordinary things, right? She spoke about, how people can control technology with their mind, just by thinking something, you can make stuff happen. Okay. Now, to the eye, right, to the world, to the eye, that seems pretty cool. That I can control my Apple Music. I can control the computer. I can watch what I want to watch on command. Probably drive a vehicle and all this stuff. But it ain't good for you. Okay. There's no way in the hell I'm getting anything put in my brain from this devil, right? Just to fit in or to look cool. Hell no. This man is crazy. Okay, he's a crazy fool. But they're trying to get 8 more patients to be implanted pretty much with these things to so-called, show forth the human strength, whatever they want to show forth. It's all freaking madness, man. Okay, this is complete madness. Now here in 2 Thessalonians, okay, real quick, man, it speaks about the miracles and the power that Esau is coming with. So jumping down here, real quick, there's 2 Thessalonians 2:8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders." Okay? if you go into some of these words here, right? So the word working, or the word working goes back to it says energia, or the energy, okay, of Satan on the left-hand side, man. So power, signs, and loud wonder, right? So the word power here, G1411.
Strong's G 1411. Dunamis. Dunamis.
Right? It says strength, power, ability, inherent power, power residing in a thing by virtue of his nature, or which a person or thing exerts and put forth. And with these brain implants, you can exert certain powers, right? Certain abilities by controlling things with your mind, right? So to speak. It says power for performing miracles. It might get to that level, right? To where Esau can perform miracles through artificial intelligence, all right? This is something that they spoke about time and time again, all right? To make a blind person see, to make a lame person walk, to try and restore somebody's leg, arm, whatever. These are miracles that Esau has. It says moral power and excellence of soul, the power and influence which belongs to riches and wealth, power and resources arising from numbers, powers consisting in or resting upon armies, forces, hosts. But the point that I wanted here is power for performing miracles. This is what Esau want to do. Okay, he want to perform miracles with his technology. And so what they're going into here is how Elon Musk with his brain implants can somewhat do that, right?
Figure that we have never really had in the time that I've covered American politics. The richest man in the world with no public role officially, no accountability, not Senate confirmed or anything, running a kind of off-the-book operation in the name of the president he spent $250 million to elect, who has a million conflicts and seems to be like sort of calling the shots. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, spent yesterday on Capitol Hill being celebrated by Republicans who gave off the vibe that Musk's budget-slashing, workforce purging agenda is their agenda. It's going to be the agenda of the new Congress. He walked around Capitol Hill, frankly, like he owned the place.
International Affairs editor, also watching on because as the secular and well, the powerful world leaders who are here and those associated with the richest man in the world, well, too, Bernard Arnault in France and also Elon Musk, you've been noticing that there hasn't been tweet or X free tonight. There's been some social media, we assume, within the cathedral going on.
If it was actually him who posted it, yes, Elon Musk tweeted just about an hour ago about the beautiful cathedral with a short video of the roof of the cathedral from within the cathedral. So he wanted to document being present, and I guess he is in the end just like us, and he wants to show that he was there and show a little piece of the beauty of the cathedral, and he himself a little bit in awe of what he sees right now.
Yeah, just like us is open to interpretation with Elon Musk.
Whatever. The devil is the devil, man. All right. Watch out for the heavy push of these brain implants, or just this whole beast system as a whole, man. Lord willing, 2025 be very interesting, bro. I just pray that Esau comes hard with these digital IDs and the central bank digital currencies, bro. That's going to lead to the implant being put in your body. Lord willing, man. Okay. So I'm gonna close out there, bro. If I get to hit out and do something, man. All praise Yahweh Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.